world has heard about 1MDB and MO1, Malaysian Official 1. 1MDB and the billions of ringgits that have gone astray, the so-called Arab Prince donation, and the Good Star, Jolo's company, which siphoned millions of ringgit, hundreds of millions of ringgits into Najib Abdul Razak's personal bank account. We've also had Bersih 5, the mass pro-democracy movement. Farouk, how does PAS's Islamic State fit into all this? Why have they not said anything about corruption, large-scale corruption?
Well, this is indeed very interesting. I was quite amazed last year when I saw the statement by Hadi saying that in order to charge anyone with graft or corruption, one needs 4 witnesses. And when I saw this, I was thinking, oh my God, what does he think corruption is? I mean, does he think that the corruptor goes to some bank vault, open up the bank vault and take out the money in a rucksack and fly off somewhere? He doesn't seem to understand that money transfer is now done with the click of a button. You see, and he says, oh, okay, actually, no, we need 4 witnesses. No. There are 2 possibilities to this. One is that he is incredibly incompetent at understanding the real world. Number 2, he is insincere and trying to pull a fast one on the rakyat. In either case, he is unfit for leadership.
But every leader has its advisors.
Mm-hmm.
What are his advisors doing?
I can't say for sure. I mean, Hadi's advisors tend to be of his own ilk. If you notice in the previous, I think, Muktamar of PAS, what happened was those people who were progressive were shunted to one side and they eventually had to leave and form Parti Amanah Rakyat. And so when that happened, PAS retained its old conservative air. It is probably the least progressive we've ever seen it at the moment.
Farouk, Malaysia, it's a multicultural, multi-ethnic nation.
Indeed.
Now, where does hudud fit into all this?
Well, it does not, really. I mean, strictly speaking, it does not. Hence, PAS needs to force it in. And, it can only do so with 2 things. Number 1, with a majority of non-Muslim, non-Malay members of the Rakyat who are against it. 2, with non-Muslim, non-Malay members of the Rakyat who have been co-opted, namely the MCA. If you notice this week, the MCA President Lau Tong Lai said that he will resign from cabinet.
He said that before.
He did say it before. And only today or yesterday, he came up by saying, yeah, but you know what? We were just worried about its implementation. He never mentioned his resignation anymore. You see? So with people like this who sell out the people whom they claim to represent, that's the only way hudud can get passed. Hudud is not a natural fit in any modern society.
But I understand Sarawak MPs and probably Sabah are against it.
Well, Sabah and Sarawak have had a longer history of multiculturalism. They understand that you cannot bring in something which is indigenous to your own culture and expect everyone to accept it because it will affect all our lives, you see?
So, should religion be a personal issue or can it be made into a state-run thing?
Well, this is something which we need to think about with a little bit of complexity. Now, in a society, all laws have a particular origin. Okay? I mean, I can't say, for example, the secular West is entirely free of their own Judeo-Christian heritage. And it is perfectly acceptable to have some kind of heritage. Just like the Malays, even if they don't have hudud, they have their Malay culture. And the Malay culture, as we understand it at the moment, it is a culture which is not very open, it's not too sociable. They still have that concept of malu, etc. You see? So that is something which you don't really need hudud for. And if we try to force hudud into an environment where other cultures are uncomfortable with it, what will happen is social disharmony, as we've seen with the Indira Gandhi case.
But then Deputy Prime Minister told non-Malays, non-Muslims, there is nothing to fear in multicultural Malaysia. They have nothing to fear if hudud were to be implemented.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe that once Act 355 has been passed, the Sharia court will have added powers, and they will continue their dream for an Islamic state. Now, if you read the Malay Mail, I think it was Zurairi's column piece, he said that Nick Abdu said that this is the final chain to breaking Sharia law. So, in other words, once this chain has been broken, Sharia law will be free to establish itself. So it is another step towards a full-blown Islamo-fascist state.
I don't think a lot of them have done much to improve Sharia law, have they? For instance, mothers, single mothers or Muslim women who are divorced, there is no nafkah, there is no alimony and child maintenance, so they can't even solve those problems. How are they going to solve the bigger issues?
Yeah, this is the thing with Malay Muslims. Malay Muslims, they focus on getting the tick box. Oh, do you establish Sharia? Yes. Are your actual problems being solved? No. That's the problem, you see. Yeah, you have the problem of the single mothers, you have problems of the so-called gantung tak bertali and so on. They don't consider these things as feedback to the system. Because Sharia is not a democratic system. It's not a system which you can say, I'm sorry, this is not working. They'll just tell you, well, God decided it, therefore it is working. Of course, it's not God's law. If it was God's law, Hadi Awang does not need to tweak God's law. He's tweaking it because it's not God's law, it's his law.
And in Kelantan, problems of drug taking amongst Malay Muslim youth, incest, number of people with HIV/AIDS.
Indeed.
He can't solve those, and we haven't even got to corruption yet, have we?
No, and as we know, their point of view is this. They say their solution to this whole sex and drugs issue is that those two things are so cheap in Thailand, so really we must blame the Thai people. The Thai people made it cheap, so our youth are going there. So in other words, their youth don't have any actual faith. The fact that economics has made it too difficult for them to enjoy themselves, that's the only reason they're Muslims. Can you see the mentality which is being portrayed here is utterly ridiculous, utterly ridiculous.
So if you and I can see it, why can't the other Malays see it? Or they're just keeping quiet?
I'm pretty sure many people see it, and I'm pretty sure that it is a matter of tribal and ethnic pride for them not to admit it. The so-called Malu culture. This is the problem.
Malu, when they do all sorts of things, like for instance Zuna's exhibition, when they raided it, trashed all his work. There is also the Red Thugs, Jamal Yunus, proclaiming all-out war on Bersih.
Indeed.
And then recently the riot or near riot in Parliament when Tajuddin Abdul Rahman's son defended his father's Marwah, for instance.
Indeed.
What do you think of all this?
I think now, I don't like to say UMNO and PAS. I like to say UMNO PAS. Because I believe UMNO and PAS they have now become conjoined as a racial/religious entity, And I believe that UMNO PAS have now pushed the Malays, even the ones who are sitting on the fence. They're thinking, you know what, really, this is getting too much now. I mean, Jamal Yunus's behavior during the Bersih 5 rallies, this was just, you should have seen on social media how maligned he was, even among the Malays. The Malays, they have really bad names for him. And it's simply because he's pushing them way beyond our natural niceness. Malays are very nice, very polite people. We can't really tolerate these kind of things. But Jamal has pushed it. And now I think it's backfired.
UMNO Baru says it is the defender of the Malays. and the protector of Islam.
Interesting. I would say that the first thing you need to do to protect against Islam is to protect Islam is to look at corruption. I mean, if it costs $800 to purchase something in the market,
Digital scales, wasn't it?
digital scales indeed, $800 to purchase a digital scale in the market, but $8,000 to do it for government. Is that really Islam? Are you defending Islam by hiding the middleman here? No, of course not. I mean, this is utter theft. There's no other word for it but theft. That's why it's called a kleptocracy.
Farouk, the things we discussed about Hadi's Hudud Bill is from your point of view, writer and Islamologist. What do you think if we invite a past politician or even Hadi Awang himself for an interview with us?
I think that's more than fair. I mean, they should be given the opportunity to defend their point of view. And what if I misrepresent them? You know, they should be here themselves to defend what they have to say, and maybe they can prove me wrong, and I'm quite happy to be proven wrong.
Okay, so if anybody has access to a past politician or to Hadi himself, please email us. Thank you very much.